Let me tell you a little bit more about what I've learned over the years and a request for investigation into Vermont State Police, the former detective Rio Robillard, who was on Vermont Super Troopers movie as the detective. A request for investigation into all of the deputies, all of anybody and everybody, politicians, police, everybody involved in this case. But right now I'm going to focus on Mary Hare and her husband Jeffrey Hare. Mary Hare being the IEP teacher who was there in 2007. I don't know when she retired from there. I don't care. The point is, probably groomed and lured more children, and I already heard about it. So I'm sure when Brianna has a chance, she will tell her own story and she'll come true about it. Brianna, during that school year of 2006-2007, being taken out of the school by Mary Hare, being recognized and concern written in letter form to the North Country School Supervisory. That would have been Jody Messina's father, actually. You know, the singer? Yeah. Yeah. He was part of the North Country Supervisory School. So there's part of your sex trafficking right there, right? Because they all knew. Michael Knox, I remember him clear as day, sitting leaning up against, like he was in total control, dominating over Brianna as she sat in the chair in the lobby waiting for him with me for the meeting to find out why she was kicked out of school and why I had to be present in order for her to be able to go back to school. He said he didn't have time. Michael Knox said he did not have time to meet with me. I'm a parent. He had to meet with me. So therefore, he stood over Brianna and said, "Are you ready, Miss Brianna?" Okay, right there is indication that he had some kind of power trip. Was he sexually assaulting my daughter as well? I want him under investigation because previously he has assaulted me and he assaulted Jeremiah DeSlandis, which is Caitlin DeSlandis' brother. Okay? He assaulted him and then he brought a rifle to my house. That he wanted to make a peace treaty so that Jeremiah would don't tell anybody that he punched him, okay? But I'm telling you, Jeremiah is still affected by this. So I will represent for that kid too. So Michael Knox, I have all reason to believe that he was sexually assaulting my daughter due to the fact that now all of her perpetrators in sex trafficking have led to black males. And knowing that she has been sexually assaulted by Jeffrey Hare. Oh, let me get you that paperwork. Okay, you all see that, right? Face-to-face district service provider. You see that? You see that? Okay? There's more to that story, isn't there, Jeffrey Hare? Because why did Brianna have to have a pregnancy test 3 weeks before she turned 15 years old? I have her medical records that prove that is not an allegation, that's a fact. The call came from Brianna. She was crying her eyes out. And I told her, go in the other room and talk to me, Bri. Tell me what's really going on. And she told me. I asked her who it is, and she told me why. Why did I have to tell her? And I said, because if something happens to you, I need to know who to look at. And she told me the name of Kevin Bickford. Well, Kevin Bickford at the time is 22, Brianna's 14. She's in custody of DCF, placed with Border Patrol and IEP teacher. Why? Why was my daughter taken out of my custody and put into sex trafficking? I didn't do that to her. The state of Vermont did. The state of Vermont abused my daughter, and they're still abusing her today. And so noting that, I had proof, I've got the proof and documentation right here, that my children were with me July 4th weekend. All that week, we were with my ex-husband, Sidney Cross. We were camping at Troll Valley Campground on the Red Schoolhouse Road in Farmington, Maine. Set up the camper there. Sid spent the week with us. He hooked up the camper on the back of my vehicle, on my Tahoe, and he got in the vehicle, the passenger side. I drove and dropped him off in Livermore Falls at his mother's house. Proceeded with the kids in the trailer down to Massachusetts. However, the paperwork that I have that shows that Amy Basari, now LeClaire, the Vermont Derby Barracks lieutenant, and her Jason Letourneau, the supervisor over her at the time, who is now in the Westminster Barracks, signed off and said that they tried to contact me and they couldn't contact me. Mary Hare wrote in her reports that she hadn't seen or heard from me in many months. The same with the rest of the people saying they hadn't seen or heard from me in months. They're fucking lying. Okay? Everybody had seen and heard from me. And even Mary Hare came to the fairgrounds and said, I just want to say bye to you and the girls and see how everything's going. And we were just setting up for the animals. And I said, Mary, they took my kids. Oh, what happened? What happened? She acted like she knew fucking nothing. She gave me a ride. I never knew Mary Hare to smoke cigarettes in my life. Okay? So she gave me a ride. She dropped me off in Newport, Vermont at a motel. She paid for it on her credit card, promised she'd be back. She never came back. She never called either. She told me she was going to DCF because she's a mandated reporter and she was going to find out what happened and to make sure Brianna was okay. Well, the fact is that she had been behind the whole fucking thing and she couldn't wait. So she lied to me, lured me, groomed me into thinking that I could trust her. I told her what I knew. And at that same time, when they took Kiana from me, there was a tow truck. I think it was Buckley's maybe? But I'm going to re-look at that paperwork. I can't remember. It starts with a B. So yeah, they're one of the two companies out of Cape Cod. I think it's Buckley's or Bucklers. I can't remember. Anyways, either way, they're the ones that came and they recognized what was happening. They knew I hadn't done anything wrong. They had a repossession order to come and take my vehicle from me, which would have left me stranded in Barnstable with no way to get to St. Johnsbury, Vermont the very next morning to appear in court, which would have tried to cover the tracks of Vermont State Police. Jeffrey Hare, remember, he was Border Patrol agent, okay? And so then the computer came up missing out of Island Pond, Vermont. And then, okay, so Falmouth Police Department, again, why did Falmouth gladly take this and run with it? Why did they take my children? How much did they get paid to do so? That's what I really want to know. I want to know, Falmouth Police Department, Barnstable County, Massachusetts, did you swear under oath? What is your mission statement? Because I have full intent to file a lawsuit against Falmouth Police Department because violation of USC 242-1983, you took my children or child without looking into the situation. You lied and you hid information. You added to with your own point of view and lies. Discriminational. You told people that my child had no food. There was food in that trailer. And my child was with family and friends as I attended a co-worker's funeral. So with all that being said, who is the real liar? It's not me. I affirm to tell the truth. The officers, the politicians, Jeffrey Hare, were all under oath when they stole my children. Falmouth Police Department, Barnstable County, Massachusetts. I am requesting a full investigation into Falmouth Police Department, Jeffrey Hare, and Mary Hare. Jeffrey Hare and Mary Hare live in Plymouth, Massachusetts on the Bruce Road. They sure do. Look it up in the title of deeds. It's listed publicly 9 Bruce Road. So why is it that the mail got returned to sender? No forwarding address? I got that letter. But also, I got all of my mail back in 2019 pertaining to what I'm telling you. I filed 87 billion plus multi-million in lawsuits. So that's the next part of the story.